Coming up next, two families who lost their sons to hazing and alcohol deliver a strong message for others.
The intent is to cut out the cancer that is hazing.
Plus, a battle over mail has tenants at a local apartment complex caught in the middle and angry.
And the impact of medical marijuana on Pennsylvania's economy. The Center County Report starts now. Good afternoon, I'm Will Desitel.
And I'm Samantha Rank. Thanks for joining us. Residents at a new apartment complex in State College are angry about their mail. They said they're caught in the middle of a dispute between the post office and their apartment managers. Caitlin Aguilas has the story.
Residents of the Bel Air apartment building say they're frustrated. That's because they have mailboxes in their building, but no mail is being delivered here.
We were told that this originally was student housing, and it's been a whole back and forth debacle between the post office and the apartment store. So we're not really sure who's telling the truth anymore.
The Bel Air opened in August, but the post office and the owners of the apartment building have been arguing for months over the final delivery of mail to tenants.
I would have expected it had been done by now, because it is kind of an inconvenience when you're paying the amount of money that you are to stay at an apartment and then your mail can't get delivered.
The U.S. Postal Service says this is a case involving so-called single-point delivery. The post office classifies the Bel Air apartments as student dorms. Therefore, a third party has to sort through the mail, not the post office. The USPS told us in a statement, single-point delivery involves the delivery of mail to the management of the building for further delivery to residents. USPS is not refusing to deliver mail. We have attempted delivery to management at the facility. That third party would be the apartment store, the managers of the Bel Air, but they're telling residents to call the post office because it's out of their control.
They have just told us to keep nagging at the post office to see what they're going to do and if they're going to give in eventually, and just because the apartment store can't do anything, but not really sure why this wasn't clarified before we moved in.
In State College, I'm Caitlin Aguilas with the Center County Report.
The only solution right now is for residents of the apartment building to go to the post office to pick up their mail.
12 candidates are now being considered by the Bureau Council to serve as interim mayor of State College. Current Mayor Don Hahn is stepping down next month after his election as magisterial district judge. The interim mayor will serve out the remaining 2 years of Hahn's term. The council hopes to take a vote on December 16th to choose the replacement. Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf wants all counties to buy new voting machines as a security measure for the 2020 election, but one county is not on board. A Dauphin County commissioner says he's comfortable with the old machines and doesn't want to switch after hearing about paper jams, long lines, and other problems in counties that use new machines in this month's election. The governor imposed a December 31st deadline for counties to select new machines.
Two families whose sons died from alcohol-related incidents while rushing fraternities are now traveling the country, sharing their stories. They came to Penn State Sunday night with an emotional message.
In front of 1,200 people at Penn State, Jim and Evelyn Piazza talked about their last family trip with their son Tim to the Rose Bowl.
It was a great trip. We had a lot of memories in just a couple of days. But the most meaningful thing here is this is our last family picture together.
Steve and Ray Ann Groover talked about their son too, and his final days as a student at LSU.
We dropped Max off on August 15th, 2017. This picture is the last picture I have of my son and I. 29 days later, my son would be dead because of alcohol hazing in his fraternity house.
Both families lost their sons in 2017 to alcohol-related hazing incidents. They spoke Sunday night as part of their End Hazing Now presentation.
Upon arrival at the house, he and the other pledges were greeted with a small ceremony and were then handed a handle of vodka and were told that they had to finish it before moving on. Simple math would tell you, on average, each pledge had around 3.5 shots from that handle in just a matter of minutes.
Max's situation wasn't much different. His blood alcohol level was at an alarming 0.495. After the Piazza and Groover families shared their stories about losing their sons, they urged campus leaders and Greek Life members to think how they would feel if it was their sister, their brother, or their best friend that they lost.
Who here has a brother or sister close in age to you? Close enough to be in college at the same time as you? If not, consider your best friend, and consider that you're both going to the same college.
Changes to Greek life and anti-hazing laws are underway across the country, including here in Pennsylvania.
I don't want you to be threatened by these laws unless you're the hazer. You should be threatened. But I want to talk to you about these laws more to empower you to do the right thing.
Steve said the goal isn't to shut down Greek life.
The intent is to cut out the cancer that is hazing.
Both families emphasized the need to end the tradition of hazing and the importance of being more than a bystander.
Just because it happened to you does not mean you need to do it to the next group of new members.
If they had called for help right away after Tim fell, we wouldn't be here right now.
The Timothy J. Piazza Center at Penn State will soon release a national scorecard with data on fraternities and sororities, which aims at making Greek life safer nationwide.
The final phase of renovation on the 200-year-old Center County Courthouse will be underway soon. The project in Bellefonte is expected to finish next April. The updates will include a 400-square-foot security vestibule and reconfigurations of the second and third floors. They plan to install a new sprinkler and fire alarm system. The courthouse is listed on the National Register of Historic Places.
And Patton Township is getting ready for a $700,000 state grant for road work near the University Park Airport. The intersection of Fox Hill and Burnell Roads will be reconstructed to create a standard T intersection with a stop sign and dedicated left turn lanes on both roads. The goal is to make the area safer as traffic and homes continue to grow. Work there is expected to begin next May.
Pennsylvania's relatively new medical marijuana program is already generating hundreds of millions of dollars. Reporter Jerome Taylor has more on the story.
Pennsylvania's medical marijuana program has generated more than $500 million in sales since it began almost 2 years ago. Around 147,000 PA residents are certified medical weed patients, and there are now 72 dispensaries across the state. Nia Rodriguez is the general manager of Nature's Medicine, a state college dispensary. She says new additions to treatable conditions are a key growth factor.
The state has released anxiety for one of the qualifying conditions. So with anxiety patients, we end up getting about between 14 to 18 new patients per day.
Anxiety was added to the treatable conditions list in July, and more conditions could be on the way.
We started with, I think, 17 approved conditions. Now we're at 23. There's a lot more conditions out there that people suffer from that are not on this list. So as those things start getting added onto these lists, you're going to see that number just expand beyond recognition.
The success of the state's medical marijuana program has allowed for Nature's Medicine to open 2 more dispensaries. Nia has seen that grow firsthand with an increase in employees.
When we first opened in June of 2018, there were 7 employees, including the pharmacist. Now we have almost 30 employees.
But the growth of Pennsylvania's medical marijuana program does create some logistical challenges for dispensaries like Nature's Medicine.
We could see where the large quantity of patients that have been approved and are on the program now, where it's hard to keep up with them because the demand is so great and the product is not there at this point.
In State College, I'm Jerome Taylor for the Center County Report.
Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf is in favor of legislation to legalize recreational marijuana in the state.
Will we see warmer weather for the rest of the week? Casey is here with the 7-day forecast.
And find out where State College ranks on the list of best small sports cities. Also coming up, changes are coming for Pennsylvania inmates on death row. That's after the break. Pennsylvania's prison agency has agreed to improve death row conditions under a settlement of a federal lawsuit that called inmates' living standards inhumane. The state's execution chamber is at the Rockview State Prison near Bellefonte, but death row inmates are housed at other prisons. The lawsuit deal gives prisoners more time out of their cells, access to their phones, and visits with their families.
Gun violence is a big topic nationwide right now, and some Penn State students are trying to bring more awareness to the issue through an arts performance. Reporter Courtney Allen has more.
More guns in the country can definitely lead to and correlate with less crime.
But not everyone feels that way. Theater performance projects like It Happens Here Too aims to bring awareness to the issue.
Because we're the most impacted by gun violence. We've experienced it firsthand. All the youth in a sense of fear of actually doing what they want to do, because they're like, yo, I might just go to school and just get shot today. I don't know.
Every year, over 36,000 Americans die by gun violence, and it's the leading cause of death amongst teens and children. Since 2014, gun homicides have increased 30%. Students like Purandre have been working day after day for Here Too's performance. The project's goal is to amplify young activist voices through theater. By collecting the stories of survivors and the initiatives of activists, they hope to incite stronger gun control. But some think the issue is far more complex.
The real root of the issue does come with mental health, and it comes with the way that we treat one another.
Just last week, California had 3 mass shootings in just 4 days, leaving 10 people dead, including 2 students at a high school in Santa Clarita.
There's a whole generation of human beings who are not able to live to their fullest.
Some activists are taking a hands-on approach to the issue. Deanna Hatcher has organized a citywide gun violence awareness event in Philadelphia for 2 years now, focusing on kids.
I think the biggest impact comes with them because they are the future. They are the ones who are essentially going to be running the world once we're like long and gone, or once we're old and frail.
Educate our children about gun safety, where to keep them, lock them up properly, teach your children how to shoot a gun, not to point it at anything you don't intend to destroy.
Now, Myers told me it's not necessarily the guns that are the issue or the fact that they're easily attainable, it's the people.
But the shootings in Sandy Hook kind of became part of the rhythm.
Reporting from Centre County, Courtney Allen for the Centre County Report.
Statistics show 100 Americans are killed every day by gun violence.
Centre County Parks and Recreation projects are getting $500,000 in state grants. The money comes from the State Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. The local projects include a master site plan for Spring Creek Park, money for Clearwater Conservancy's Outdoors program, and the development of the Whitehall Road Regional Park, plus $250,000 for a wildlife center in Hudson Township. Centre County Region Parks and Recreations is getting a new home. It's moving from the current location at the Centre County Region Council of Governments building on Gateway Drive to a new office space off Science Park Road. The CRPR is closed this week until the staff moves into the new building. The new office will have an open house on December 6th.
Rigner bringing you your latest forecast. Right now, as you're headed out over the Penn State golf courses, just a little bit of some cumulus clouds in the area. Otherwise, some of that sunshine is still peeking through. We had kind of had a brisk morning as you're stepping out the door right now. 46 degrees. It's feeling like 46 as well. Thankfully, we have calm winds, so we don't have to factor in a wind chill. Radar and satellite quiet across the state. Just some clouds for most parts of the area. Now, this is a little different story. Our friends up in New England right now are dealing with this system that's bringing snow. It brought some sleet, freezing rain, D all the above up in here. So just a reminder, things could be worse. We could deal with some of that chilly weather. Across the region, temperatures right now is hanging in those 40s. Statewide as well, a little bit warmer down in central and southeastern Pennsylvania. Temperatures already in the upper 40s. Now, countrywide, I just wanted to throw this in. Temperatures, we had a below average start to November for most areas of the country. So it's kind of that time of year where things start to get a little bit colder and we consider taking some vacations down south. We will remain dry over the next few days, maybe some isolated showers down in the Pittsburgh metro area later on this evening, as well as some lake effect action up near Erie. Other than that, we will remain dry, just have to deal with some cloud cover across the Commonwealth. But look up into the top left, you'll see some green starting to filter its way through, and that's actually our next system that's going to be coming through later on this week. 43 is our high today, partly sunny skies. Winds are out of the northwest. Tonight will cool off to just about freezing. 32 as our low, mostly cloudy, winds still out of the northwest. For tomorrow, expect a few more clouds in the sky. 44 is our high. Winds kick up to 10 to 15. Now, I mentioned that system that's going to be coming through later on this week, and what it's going to do is it's a huge weekend, travel weekend for those holiday plans. If you have to commute somewhere, this is something you want to keep your eye on, and just keep in mind we have some rain possibly Friday evening as well as Saturday evening. It's kind of a tricky mess, so just something to keep your eye on for this weekend.
I'm excited for Thanksgiving. I don't know
Me
about
too.
you guys.
Yeah, I am as well. Can't wait.
Thanks, Casey. State College has been named one of the best small sports cities in the country, according to Wallet Hub. The personal finance website ranked State College third behind Clemson, South Carolina, and West Point, New York. Altoona is number 190 on the small city ranking list. Boston came in as the top-ranked large sports city, with Pittsburgh in the 4th spot. Now here's Mitch with more sports.
Thanks, Will. Coming up next, 2 local teams are still rolling through the state high school football playoffs. That's after the break. Also coming up, Penn State football held off an upset attempt by Indiana on Saturday, plus Penn State women's soccer advances in the NCAA tournament. All of this and more in sports. Stewart with sports. Penn State hockey is up to number 6 in the new national poll after sweeping Minnesota on the road over the weekend. The Nittany Lions took the first game on Friday 8-2 and the second game on Saturday 6-3. Penn State overwhelmed the Gophers on Friday and finished 2 for 3 on the power play. Penn State's 8 goals were the most scored in a single game against the Gophers in series history. On Saturday, Nate Soucies had his first multi-goal game of the season and the 10th of his career. The Nittany Lions return home this weekend against number 11 Ohio State. Penn State football can also look ahead to Ohio State this weekend after a win against Indiana at Beaver Stadium on Saturday. Reporter Will Desitel was there for the action.
From the moment James Franklin became Penn State football's head coach, he has been persistent in making sure his team focuses its complete attention on one game at a time. After losing its first game of the season last week at Minnesota, Penn State rebounded with a 34-27 win over Indiana on Saturday. Quarterback Sean Clifford posted 234 total yards of offense and 3 touchdowns, while Journey Brown eclipsed 100 rushing yards for the second straight week. The Hoosiers cut the Penn State lead to just 3 points at the end of the third quarter, but Penn State answered with an 18-play, 9-minute touchdown drive to ice the game.
I think we've improved on the O-line and at the tight end position. We just have more sophistication in our running game, so we're able to run a more traditional 4-minute.
The win was Penn State's third over a ranked team this year, and the Lions snapped a streak that had haunted them the last 2 years. The previous 2 seasons, when Penn State lost its first game, it would then follow it up the next week with another loss. But on Saturday at Beaver Stadium against Indiana, Penn State was able to avoid back-to-back losses for the 3rd consecutive season, a testament to this team's ability to continue to buy into James Franklin's 1-0 mentality each and every week.
It's honestly huge for us, and just to bounce back after a tough loss last week, that's huge.
Penn State will now turn its attention to second-ranked Ohio State next weekend for a chance to clinch a spot in the Big Ten championship game.
I can promise that this will be the best week of preparation that we will have, and we will not be denied that.
In University Park, I'm Will Desitel for the Center County Report.
ESPN's College Game Day is heading to Columbus for Penn State's matchup against Ohio State on Saturday. Kickoff is at noon. Now on to high school football. State College and Bald Eagle are advancing in the PIAA playoffs. This Friday, State High will take on Pittsburgh Central Catholic in a Class 6A game. The Little Lions are 11-1 overall and ranked 6th in the state after beating Delaware Valley 38-7 on Friday night. And Bald Eagle will play Sharon in a Class 3A game at Clarion University. Bald Eagle won 21-20 in overtime on Friday. Penn State men's soccer is the number 15 seed in the NCAA tournament and has earned a first-round bye. That means the Nittany Lions will host the winner of the Providence and New Jersey Institute of Technology game next Sunday at Jeffrey Field. The Penn State women's soccer team is rolling into the second round of the NCAA tournament. Reporter Maria Coyne has highlights from their matchup on Friday night.
The Nittany Lions are now on a 10-game win streak after they beat Stony Brook 3-1 in the first round of the NCAA tournament at Jeffrey Field.
Right now we're on a roll, we're doing really well, so we're going to try to keep going with it.
Stony Brook got on the board first with a goal from Fawny Godison in the 18th minute. Penn State outshot the Seawolves 13-3 in the first half, but couldn't find the back of the net. Momentum shifted in the second half as the Nittany Lions came out firing with back-to-back scores from Frankie Taliaferri and Sam Coffey in less than a minute.
I just knew that we needed to get a goal to get everything going, and Schleggs gave a great pass, so I just was trying to stay composed and finish into the corner.
Junior Carrie Abello then found herself on the score sheet as she tacked on the insurance goal in the 63rd minute. Penn State remained in control and sealed the 3-1 win. Coach Erica Dombach said she trusts her team as they move ahead into the second round of the NCAA tournament.
The leadership right now is as strong as it's been all season long, and as a coach I look out to the team and I know that they're capable of beating any opponent, and I think they're really starting to believe that as well.
In University Park, I'm Maria Coyne for the Center County Report.
Next up for the Nittany Lions is a second round game against Arizona on Friday in California. Penn State men's basketball is back on the court tonight for a home game against Bucknell. The Lions are 3-0 after beating Georgetown 81-66 in Washington, D.C. last Thursday. They led that game wire to wire behind a strong performance by sophomore guard Myron Jones. He tallied 21 points on the night. That's all for sports. Now back to you over at the anchor desk.
Thanks, Mitch. Coming up next, a ceremony to officially open a new multi-million-dollar center at Penn State aimed at helping those who serve our country. Find out more after the break.
Penn State's new Student Veterans Center just held its official ribbon-cutting ceremony on the University Park campus. The $4 million center at the Rittenauer building will be a meeting place for student veterans. It will offer mentoring and counseling programs, help with GI Bill benefits, and more. Over 400 student vets are enrolled at University Park, with more than 5,000 across the state and through World Campus.
Veterans Center has been a long goal at Penn State. It was my goal when I walked in the door.
Construction on the facility is set to finish in the spring.
That's all for today's newscast. You can find more of our stories on our website, centercountyreport.com.
And you can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Twitter feed. That's at Center County REP, or on our Facebook page. We also have a Center County Report Instagram. Join us for our next newscast on Friday. Have a good day.
We hope you enjoyed watching the video. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you did.
For the rest of our newscasts and featured stories, click here.
And for sports, click here. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.